Good morning, everybody, and welcome to What's Real in Real Estate. I am so excited to be here. We've been off for a few weeks. I am so glad to be back. I got a really special guest with Paolo Domingo from Revel. We'll get to Paolo in a minute. First, we're, of course, getting to our real estate numbers, which I could not be more excited about. Real estate inventory is up again. From the time we last spoke, we are way up. For the first time, we actually have more inventory than we've been selling.
That's fantastic.
That really is. So we have over a month's supply. Here's some of the, by the way, this is the highest it's been in the last 6 to 8 months. Here's the breakdown. There's 726 condos, which is up from when we last spoke. 54 manufactured homes, about the same. But here's the good news for most people is single-family residences are at 3,171, and we sold 3,011. So we're over a month's supply, which is fantastic.
Wow.
These numbers are cool, too. I say cool and a little disappointing, but there's only 260 homes under 300,000.
Wow. What a deal.
Yeah. Now, 3 to 400,000, 722, 4 to 500,000, 689. Listen to this. Over 500,000, 1,560 homes, which is over half of our inventory. So you better be making some bread to buy a home today. Now, what I'm going to do quickly, I didn't tell you this, give a little news update. So I'm going to give a quick real estate news update. And I found this online. This is from NAR. I don't know where these people get their numbers from, I swear. It's like, I don't know if they're living in the real world or making this stuff up. In the meantime, they say the average down payment is 12%, with 22 to 30-year-olds are putting down 6%. 31 to 40-year-olds are putting down 10%. So I'm assuming everybody 40 and over is putting nothing down.
Right.
Paying cash, or an artist doesn't give a crap about that demographic. I'm not really sure what the deal is, but they didn't have any numbers on anybody over 40. This is the other one I find interesting. President Biden reiterated his administration's focus on housing. Hooray. He called for an historic investment that could generate 2 million additional homes. Now, I'm wondering if he's going to use a magic wand to make these homes appear all of a sudden. I don't know where they're coming from, but that's what he's saying. They're going to have 2 million more homes. Washington is reporting that home sales were up 23% from a year ago. Now, you remember a year ago, we were all locked down?
Exactly.
So, to be up 23% from a year ago isn't as exciting as maybe,
Exactly.
It could have been. But it's all right, enough of the bullshit. That's Washington. Let's talk about the real stuff, and the real reason we're here is to meet my friend Paolo Domingo. Paolo, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Ellie, thank you so much for taking the time today. It's an honor to be here.
Glad to have you. We've tried to get together a few times, Paolo and I. The circumstances beyond my control would not allow it, so I'm glad we're here together. Before we get into Revel, tell us, everybody, a little bit about Paolo.
Well, I've been here in Las Vegas now for about 12 years.
Oh, okay.
Originally from California. I guess much like everybody else that's moving into Nevada. But prior to joining Revel, I was actually in the hotel industry. And I was in the hospitality for 23 years. And so my path from California actually then took me to Texas and then Arizona, and then ultimately here to Nevada, where, as a hotelier, you go your whole career. But when you get that call to come to Vegas and to one of these mega casinos, then you can't miss it. Yeah. But I absolutely love what I do. I love what hospitality has taught me, because really the focus right now, Ellie, is you see, especially with our company, is we're definitely looking for that hospitality mindset and looking to do something different within senior housing and the senior industry living, and so really looking at what do hospitality folks bring in, personalized service, what type of programming is going to be different. And just something different than what has been the norm over the past couple of years.
Well, I got to tell you, I went and visited Revel. I said Revel. It's
That's
Revel.
fine.
And I got to tell you, I was blown away by the facility. I felt like I was in a luxury hotel. Paolo was kind enough to invite us to lunch, and the food was fabulous. It's just, it's like a hotel. Tell us more about exactly what Revel is, how it started, and.
Absolutely. So what's great about your comment is most of the residents, they actually give me feedback that it feels like a cruise ship, but just on land. Because it's really a place where I think our residents, they just let go of every care and they leave everything to us.
That's a great analogy, because you did tell me that. I mean, I saw the pool, and the pool area was just gorgeous. They've got Uber, and they got a buck. Well, you tell me.
Absolutely.
I was just so impressed.
No, so our community has actually been in town since 2019. And again, as you had stated, we are an independent living community. So with that, we don't offer any clinical or licensed services. Again, as I stated, my background is in hotels. So it brings a different twist and a different flair. So really who we cater to are vibrant and independent individuals 55 and over. Like I said, we've been outside of Summerlin since 2019. But the great thing about us is our occupancy and our brand, even through COVID, has just continued to grow. We are part of a larger organization called the Wolf Company, which is a family-run organization out of Arizona, and they have around $4 billion in assets in multifamily as well as senior living. So what's great about it is we are part of a larger company, and Revel is the Wolf Company's brand on senior living.
Now, you took me on a tour, and I saw some of the apartments. What types of housing options are there over there?
We have a lot. So we will offer anything from studios up to 2-bedroom apartments, anywhere from square footage of ranging from 500 square feet up to 1,100 square feet. I can tell you what's great about our apartments is with your monthly rent, all of your utilities are included. So you don't have to see a bill. You don't have to worry about a bill. It just all comes to me. So again, it's nothing that you really have to worry about. Also, part of your monthly rent includes an allotment toward your meals. And what we really find is a lot of our residents really do enjoy our culinary program. We take it very seriously. Our executive chef has experience previously working down on the Strip at the MGM Grand. So she takes that flair as well of what's popular down on the Strip, to our community.
I want to talk about the food for a minute, because I was very impressed with that too. Not only the quality,
Absolutely.
but my aunt back in Detroit lived in a similar type of facility, but it was meals were at certain times. Everybody ate the same meal, and that was it. And she was fine with it. Now, it's not quite the same at your place, is it?
No, not at all. So we do offer, the kitchen is open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. What you choose between that time frame is really up to you.
Anytime you want.
Anytime you want. And we have residents that will order a hamburger at 10 in the morning. We have residents that'll do toast and eggs at 2 in the afternoon. So we're really flexible from that dining option perspective. We do have set menus for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but we also offer daily specials for our residents. So if you want to try something different or something creative, that's available to you as well. And our dining is completely flexible. You can either come down to the Ovation Restaurant, over to our social club, which is our pub, one of our different patios. You can have your meal up in your apartment, or you can even invite friends and family into one of our 2 private dining rooms. And what we've done over the last couple of weeks is Chef Brittany has actually gotten with the residents, and instead of doing a 3-course meal, we've done these exquisite appetizers and to cater for 6 individuals. So you can even customize the menu for your specific event with our culinary team.
That's fantastic. Go back to you said a word that everybody loves to hear. It's a pub. You have your own pub.
We do. And then we have happy hour basically 3 days a week. And there's like Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Very popular. And again, it's just that flexible dining option of where residents, they really don't have to leave home if they don't want to. They'll find everything they need with us.
Yeah, that's fabulous.
It is. And right now, and to even entice it for new residents, we're offering incentives on 1 and 2 year lease agreements, where if you sign a 1 or a 2 year agreement, we may contribute up to $5,000 on that first month rent for people to move in to help them with some of the costs.
Now you say 1 or 2 year agreements. Do they allow less than a year agreement?
We do offer a month to month.
Oh, you do?
But what we do find a lot is what's great about our residents is when everyone comes in for a tour, our residents will engage and embrace the prospects, and they'll immediately want to sign for a 1 or a 2 year agreement. I actually had a resident who moved in last year, came in on a month-to-month agreement. After week 2, he said, "Paolo, where do I sign? I want to come in for 2 years." So we immediately did the paperwork.
I got to jump back to this pub for a minute, because when I saw it blew me away. But you had when I was there, I believe it was back in March, during March Madness.
Yeah.
Didn't you have a March Madness party?
We did. We had every major sporting event. We've done March Madness. We've done Kentucky Derby. We've done the Super Bowl. We really like to, whatever is popular and going on out there, we don't feel the residents have to leave the confines of their home or the community. They'll find it here.
But if they do want to leave, you make it convenient for them, don't you?
Absolutely. So with the rent as well, our transportation program, we offer the residents 3 complimentary Lyft transfers per week. And that's within a 10-mile radius. And just for point of reference, one of the residents asked me before they moved in, they said, well, how close is the Strip? And I said, MGM Grand is 7.6 miles. And then you can find it from there. But it's great because within that 10 miles, you can go to Allegiant Stadium, you can go to the ballpark, Red Rock Casino, you can go to the Strip, and all different points in between. And it makes it really convenient for our residents because they get to go on their schedule and they get to go on their time. And we coordinate everything through our 24-hour concierge. So all they have to do is call the concierge wherever they're located and say, hey, this is where I'm at. Can you come get me?
I mean, that's fantastic. 3 rides a week. I mean, I live in a retirement community in Sun City, and these people are also fairly active, but some of them don't ever go out 3 times a week.
Correct.
So 3 times a week is really an ample amount.
And our residents at the end. And what's great about it is they're not confined to only using it on certain days, and they can use it any day of the week for whatever purpose they'd like to. What's also great is with our community is recently we just launched a new program called our Revel Seasonal Residence Program. What's great about it now is residents that are on a 1 or 2 year lease agreement, since we have 9 communities in the United States, they are able to go visit another Revel community and stay there from anywhere to 3 to 6 months.
Wow, that's fantastic.
It is. And so we have our unit ready to go here in Las Vegas because we know with our city, there's going to be a lot of demand. But if somebody, again, as it gets warm, they wanted to visit Seattle or spend 3 to 6 months there, or they wanted to go to Idaho or Colorado, absolutely that option is there. But in turn, with some of these other locations, even our community up in Ranchera in Reno, if those residents wanted to get away from the snow for 3 to 6 months, they can come to Las Vegas. And those 3 to 6 months, it can be anywhere in the fall where you have the NFL season, New Year's Eve, you can go hiking at Red Rock. There's just a bunch of great amenities that we can offer. And this program with the Revel Seasonal Residences is exclusive just to our brand and first in the industry.
Oh, that's great. That's how many? So you have 9 locations all around the country.
Correct.
Let's go back to the activities you have over there. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so we're really proud. About 40% of all of our activities are actually resident-driven, meaning that the residents, they've come up with the ideas as well as they execute the events themselves. They just ask us to give them a location and to put it on our activity calendar. This could be anything from whether it's card games, dice games, a lot of different discussion groups, whether it's a resident-led spiritual discussion group or just talking about what's going on in current events. So what's great about that is that it helps us with so many resident-led events. It helps us then become creative on different type of activities that we can then do for our residents. We enjoy taking our residents outside of the community. I mean, we live in a great city here in Las Vegas. And so we've taken residents out fishing. We have bought out restaurants for lunch. We've gone to the old pinball museum. We're really excited. We saw the other day that the Evel Knievel exhibit's going to be coming into town, so we're going to be looking at that. And so we do a lot of things inside as well as outside of our community because we don't believe at this time, especially at this age, that life should stop. That there's a whole world to explore out there. So we will bring in even guest speakers that'll come into the community that, of course, will talk about things that are relevant from a health perspective to seniors, but also we brought in travel companies that have helped residents get some ideas of what they can do outside. And this morning I was talking to some of the residents, and they were already telling me that they're all planning a vacation together to go to the every New Year's Eve. Forgive me, it's the Rose Parade out in
no kidding.
Right, out in Pasadena. And a couple months ago, 2 residents that met at the community got to know each other, became friends during COVID, and they just took a trip to Hawaii together. And so what we really embrace from an activity standpoint is what can we do in the community, but also what can we do to explore outside the community.
When you go outside the community, do you have one of those buses, small buses you use, and it's a group bus?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
So we have a branded bus, seats 10 people, and we take residents out. But even during COVID, we would even do rides that we would call cabin fever rides. Just to make sure our residents are safe from whatever was going on out there. That we would just go to an ice cream shop parlor, or other activities of just driving down the strip. Things that wouldn't require the residents to really get out of the van. What turned out to be was one of our most popular trips last winter was over at the Glittering Lights Festival, over at the Raceway. And what was originally just supposed to be one trip turned into multiple trips every week. So, so it really helps us out, gets the residents to where they want to go, and it's pretty convenient for them too.
That's fantastic. And I want to stress this. I can't stress this enough. This is not an assisted living home. This is a retirement community for active people. And, when you think of the bus and you think of one building, many people have the misconception these are people all with walkers,
Right.
canes, have, pacemakers and oxygen tanks. This is not the case. These are people, when I saw it, I think I told you, I could live there. I could see when I'm ready to retire, fully retire. This is it has everything anybody would ever want, but it is for active people.
And that's true. And we cater to all individuals, but certainly in addition to what you're saying, one of the newest items that we installed in the community was actually one of those new fitness mirrors. I don't know how new they are now, but definitely one of those fitness mirrors. So it would give our residents the ability, if they wanted a private session in the morning, that they could reserve time exclusively just for themselves, where they could do a morning stretch for 15 minutes, they could do a yoga class, they could do whatever they would like. And we have a handful of residents that are pretty religious to using our fitness mirror. But also, we offer Tai Chi classes, both in person and virtual, on a weekly basis, as well as a strength and balance class. So really, as we promote this life to our residents of going out there, exploring, having fun, also give them the tools in order to make sure, from a physical standpoint, they're in their best condition as possible.
Yeah, and I've got a belief from everything I can see, people are probably in better shape living there because of all the programs you have and activities.
And that's a great point. I think really what we learned, especially during COVID, was how much the social aspect really mattered to residents, especially to seniors. Being isolated away, not having a community feeling of individuals that are in your same situation was really important, which is why luckily we saw our occupancy continue to grow during COVID. But it's important to us that we provide the environment for the residents, and a lot of socialization takes place, a lot of that one-on-one interaction, because as our world evolves, it's important to make sure that our seniors are having the skills to be able to meet that world.
Yeah.
As well.
And something else I want to mention to everybody is that when you think of seniors, I think of Sun City where I live. I live there, and I have a large yard. I really like the garden.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people that are leaving there because they just don't have the oomph anymore.
Yeah.
And this is a perfect spot for them.
Absolutely.
In addition, also, I think a misconception, you think of this people, well, someone dies, they're not alone, they go over there to Revel. There's married couples there too, aren't there?
There are. Yeah, we have we have a good handful of couples that are in the community, and actually some brand new couples that met at the community.
Isn't that great?
And it's absolutely fantastic. And again, it just proves that life doesn't stop, at a certain age. And even what I love about our community is we also set up enough programs where our residents can give back to some organizations around town, where, as we talked about the meal points earlier on, what's great is we've had a monthly program that we started in January of this year, where residents were donating portions of their meal points every month back to our culinary team. And from that, we fed a firehouse. We were over at Southern Hills Hospital, and we provided meals to their ER team. And we've done some other nonprofit organizations as well. And so the residents, they love giving back to the community. We do letters to kids from Santa, and it's absolutely fantastic. And we're also in the process of looking at some of our local schools and youth programs to see where can we contribute, not only from a resident standpoint, but even from a staff standpoint, whether it's job shadow, mentorship programs. Because again, our residents, as we get to know them, gosh, they have such incredible lives and such incredible stories. And there's a lot of benefit of passing their knowledge down to other generations, and the residents really get excited about that.
That's huge. That's great. That really is important.
Yeah.
Now, as a realtor, we love to be able to help out and see how we can bring people over. How can realtors get involved with you guys?
Absolutely. So much like how we got involved, we're absolutely open to having real estate agents come in to tour the community. We currently do have an incentive plan in place for what we call Friends of Revel, where for every resident that you refer, or every prospect that turns into a resident that you refer, then you get a commission of $2,500. And
Wow.
so from that perspective, understanding that there's a lot of different options out there for individuals, like you had just mentioned, the housing market is on fire. And some individuals, they just don't want to manage a home anymore.
Right.
And so this could be that next step of where you don't worry about everything. If you love a luxury environment, we're here to create it. If you love being around great people, our residents are fantastic, team's fantastic, and it could be a great spot.
That's a great point, because one of the issues we have right now, I've spoken to a lot of people who want to take advantage of the market. Prices are high, inventory is still low. We've seen multiple offers going above list. It's a great time to be a seller. The problem with that is it's a tough time to be a buyer.
Right.
So with Revel, you can sell your home, pocket the cash, move in there, live a life. And I don't mean to keep knocking Sun City. I really love it there. But the fact of the matter is, many of our residents are alone.
Correct.
And they are alone. They could be alone with you. They're not alone.
Correct. Yeah.
And that is a huge difference.
That's right.
And so you can sell that home, put the money in your pocket, live there the rest of your life off all that cash, and live an unbelievably great life with a lot of friends.
Correct. And the great thing about everything about Revel is all about a choice. Because again, residents don't have to, or prospects don't have to come to us because of a physical condition. So it's really you're buying into the lifestyle, like you had talked about. But if that lifestyle is, certainly you want to be involved, you want to be active in the community, absolutely. If you like being in your apartment and then socialize once in a while, we're here for you as well. If you want to come down to our library and you want to pull a book and just read in your apartment, absolutely. So it's really life on your terms.
Yeah, that is fantastic. And how often do we get to have life on our terms?
Right.
Not that often. Now, when people are watching this, I'm a skeptic, so my first thought as a skeptic, I think, oh boy, this has got to cost an arm and a leg, and it doesn't. Do you mind talking a little bit about the pricing?
Yeah, so again, what we look at is our price range for our studios do start at $3,000 a month.
And that includes everything.
That
you
includes
pay
everything.
that. You don't pay anything else that month. That's it.
That's it. That's everything. And then for a 2-bedroom, looking around $5,000. So, and again, when you think of the value of everything you go into for your utilities, maintenance of your home,
Yes.
You don't have to worry about any of that anymore. Transportation costs, gas costs to go to a restaurant or to any of these other locations. You don't have to think about that. And we haven't even talked about the movie theater that we have on property as well, where it's a beautiful 28-seat theater where we do programming. I think today we're doing another Laurel and Hardy marathon. But the great thing about the theater, Ellie, if we're not using any type of programming in there and you just wanted to go in there, sit and turn on the TV and watch something, then have fun.
Do you have an average age over there?
We do. Average, again, the age range goes between 60 to 80, but really it's almost irrelevant because it's all of the mindset.
I believe that, because an 80-year-old today, when you say the word 80, it sounds old. Now,
Yeah.
I'm 66. I know I may look 86, but I'm only 66. But I feel 46.
Right,
And
exactly.
that's the way it is today.
Yeah.
People are living so much more of an active life at 80 years old. And 90, look, again, in Sun City, I see guys and gals at the club when I go work out, they're high 80s, 90s, and they can blow me out of the water.
Absolutely.
So that is a big difference today. But again, the activities we have over there and everything, the lifestyle is just fantastic.
It's fantastic. And, we were talking about physical fitness. Our first resident historically will start working out in the fitness center at 4:30 in the morning. And so, we offer that on site as well. So there's a lot of things, I think, to whatever you want life on your terms to be, we have it available.
What makes Revel Vegas different than other communities?
I think as we've talked about, our mindset is really growth versus care. We talked
Growth
about
versus care.
Correct.
Okay.
We talked about earlier, we offer no clinical services, but really we want to expand our residents. And what's great about it too is, our residents come here and they do experience new things as well, whether it's a new culinary dish. One of the most popular events we have on every month is we'll have what we call a Taste of Revel. And what it is our executive chef, she'll put together a small cooking demonstration of something unique that the residents may never have thought of, never may have known about. Where one session it was an instructional class about wine, another one was cheeses, and of course we give the samples as well, and just continuing to grow in many different ways. As a brand, we follow 4 different pillars, and our pillars are everything we do focuses on a social element, an intellectual element, a physical element, and a spiritual element. And with that and that growth mindset, it opens the doors to our residents that, hey, I can learn something new here and I can grow from where I've been, but also I can contribute as well. So if there's something special that I have, whether it's a special skill that I've had, whether I could teach another language, play an instrument, lead a discussion, play or teach a new card game, absolutely bring it to the community, because there's going to be people that are going to want to join in as well.
Well, I got to tell you, I know we're running out of time, but this was so great that we finally got together, because the more we talk about it, the more excited I get about it. And again, realtors, I'm going to post this on our page, but please contact Paolo. Go take a tour. You'll be so glad you did. This is a fantastic opportunity for realtors to get listings. You want to get a listing? Talk to somebody about how you can sell their home, put this cash in their pocket, and they can go start living a different kind of dream. They're probably living the dream now. Give them a whole new dream to live in an unbelievable community with people like Paolo there to help out. Well, again, I can't thank you enough for coming on. It took forever to get you out here. My fault, not yours. And you made it, and I'm glad you did. This is great. So,
thank you for the opportunity.
My pleasure. My pleasure. We'll be back next week. I want you to please all stay safe. Be conscious that we're not out of the woods yet with this thing. So be careful. And, of course, tomorrow night, Raiders kick off people in Allegiant Stadium. So go Raiders, wear your masks, and be safe. Thanks again, Paolo. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
And Beta, thank you.